Next, I would like to take the opportunity to welcome as our next speaker, the Honorable Clare E. Connors, the United States Attorney for the United States Attorney's Office, District of Hawaii. She served as the 16th Attorney General of the state of Hawaii, and in 2021, she was nominated by President Joseph Biden and confirmed by the U.S. Senate as the United States Attorney for the District of Hawaii. We are proud to have her here with us today. Welcome, the Honorable Clare Connors.
All right, I'm going to put my rose right there. Well, I just wanted to start by joining in the thanks to everyone who has helped put this together to make this a successful and a meaningful time of tribute to everyone who's involved in this space. I also want to take the opportunity to say I'm honored to be here with my former colleagues from the Department of the Attorney General and all the good work that they are doing. See Clare here today. It's very important that we work together in this space, and that's why I'd also like to say thank you to current partners like Prosecuting Attorney Steve Ong. We have had many meetings. We are equally committed to ensuring that victims find the kind of healing that they need in this system. So I just want to start by saying thank you, and it's an honor to be here. On Friday, President Biden proclaimed this week, April 24th to April 30th, National Crime Victim Rights Week. And it's an important opportunity that he took to renew the nation's commitment to supporting victims as they move through the justice system, to supporting them as they find healing, and also to take the time and the opportunity to honor all of you, everyone here who's working in this space, providing the dedicated service to the victims as they move through our different systems of justice. It's very important that we make clear today two things. One, that we are here to say to the community that we in law enforcement stand by victims as we investigate and prosecute our cases, and to say to the victims that we do what we do because of you, right? For us, justice is a vocation, but for you, it is a journey, and we appreciate that, and we're here to stand beside you and to support you in whatever ways we can. Now, the federal government has done a few things in the last few years to support crime victims. We know that we were finally able to get the support and then the president to sign the fix to the Victims of Crime Act. That was a big deal. It's going to help us support the Crime Victim Fund and to get the money that we need to victims to support them. We know that's critical to any journey to success. We also were able to get the support, and then President Biden signed the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act. That was a very big deal. This administration has also supported sexual assault telehealth services and other hospital-based assistance programs. They're all things that reflect the commitment of this nation to our victims. So with me, I represent the Department of Justice, so the United States Attorney's Office here in the District of Hawaii. And our office has had a very clear mission since about 1870, when we had to restructure the department in order to better combat the violence that was being committed against newly emancipated slaves. We restructured ourselves. We came up with a two-pronged purpose, which was one, to protect the community from crime, from threats, from harm, and two, to vindicate the rights of victims. That's been our motto since about 1870. And we do that in a number of different ways. We try to adopt trauma-informed, victim-centered approaches to crime in particular. And we've done that in a number of different spaces, but in particular in the human trafficking space. Recently, the Department of Justice came up with a four-pronged objective. And our objectives are to prevent crime, to prosecute crime, to protect victims, and to partner. And each of those four components is really important. Obviously, we want to prevent crime, and that's why working with Hawaii's Missing Child Center, or Missing Child Center of Hawaii with the Department of the Attorney General is so important, because we know that every missing child is an endangered child, is a potential victim, so we need to do what we can to prevent, and our office and the federal government is committed to working with partners at the state and the local level to do that. When it comes to prosecution, we know we need to hold offenders accountable. We need to bring them into the court system, and we need to, in many cases, put them away for a long time. And we're committed to that. When it comes to protecting victims, we know that services are needed right at the moment they come into the justice system, be it the civil justice system or the criminal justice system. And we also know that it's not just the people we bring into the system, but all the people we need to bring into the system. So when we're investigating our cases, we need to look beyond the victims in front of us, and we need to find out where the other victims are, because we know that they are out there. And that is a commitment on our part as well. And then fourth, the partnerships is what this is all about, right? We want to partner at the very front end with the victim service providers, with the victim specialists, so that we, in some cases, start providing services before we even start investigating a case. And that's a big shift for law enforcement. Many of you who've worked with law enforcement officers, we hit the ground running, we start investigating. We're trying to change that mentality to say we need to start providing services possibly even before we start interviewing witnesses, because they're victims first and foremost, right? So it's a great honor for me to be now serving on behalf of the United States Attorney's Office. The federal crimes that we see are multifold. We see the human trafficking victims, we see crimes of fraud, financial frauds, pandemic-related frauds, opioid. That's another area that we are very concerned about, and the victims that are being created every single day from that crisis, gun violence, a number of things. And our office is committed to ensuring that when victims come into our federal crime system, we are there to ensure that they understand what is happening. It can be very overwhelming. As a former prosecutor working with victims, I know how overwhelming it is. So folks like Susan and Leilani, our victim witness coordinators, are committed to explaining what is happening so that when victims have to meaningfully participate in the proceedings, when they have to be witnesses in the proceedings, that they can do so with the support that they need, because everybody needs that support in order to be successful. And the prosecutors in my office understand that too. They work with people whose decisions they make are the ones being affected by the decisions, right? So it's important that the prosecutors know when they make some kind of decision, it's going to have an impact on somebody's life. And it is an important commitment on our part to ensure that we're doing that at every stage we possibly can. So I want to just end by saying thank you again to everybody who is here. Thank you to everyone who has showed their support. We know that every victim is an individual. Every individual needs a specific set of services, and we're committed to doing that. So here today, we're saying as law enforcement, we are a part of this process. We're committed to it. And I want to say to the victims that we see you, we believe in you, and we are committed to standing by you as you proceed through your process of healing on this journey to justice. So thank you, and aloha to everybody.
Well, thank you very much. I particularly appreciate you referencing and emphasizing partnership, because without all of the individuals here and all the organizations that are represented, we wouldn't be able to do our work. For several years now, we've all been working sort of at a distance, and this is one of the first times that so many of us have been together in person, and so I'm really treasuring this opportunity.